Alright, well, we're going to start this video off by doing a complete service on my Volkswagen because it said I had 6,000 kilometers left before the oil changed. And then on the weekend, Sunday, I went to go drive the car and all of a sudden it's saying service. So it says right here, days since last oil service, 374, so a year. And I only put on 8,300 kilometers since the last oil change. Well, I was trying to change the day setting, but it wouldn't let me do it. So I accidentally reset it. Not a big deal. We'll just change the oil. I'll get the vacuum sucker out and we'll suck it out and put some fresh stuff in. Oh, this vacuum pump is a lifesaver. In case you guys are wondering why the video is a little bit off, I originally started doing the oil change. This was back in March, if you would remember, when I had that oil issue problem, why the oil light came on. And obviously like a few seconds ago you understood why. And now it's June. There's a big gap. That's why this video seems kind of off the way I look and everything else is the Volkswagen settlement in Canada has been settled. So I was debating whether or not what to do with my car, what I could do with my car. I had all these parts, I could just take them back, get my money back if I was gonna trade in the car. But I'm gonna hold out until September 2018 if they don't have a fix, and then take the money and invest it in something else. So now let's get to changing the cabin air filter, the fuel filter, and the air filter. Well, let's pull this air filter out and see how dirty it is. Still actually pretty good, but I'm just gonna throw a new one in anyways. This is one thing I can't stress enough with power tools, is that when people don't know the braking strength or the torque of a bolt and they tighten it down till it breaks or strips. So if you're one of those people that doesn't understand or can feel when a bolt's about to break, do it by hand. And I see people in the trades that have been in the trades 10 plus years still breaking like 1/4 inch bolts, smaller fasteners off by hand, which you should technically feel when it's tight. Don't go retard tight. Now we're going to change the fuel filter. I don't know when it's been changed last. This is going to be a make it or break it for me, because if we pull this filter out and there's metal filings, this thing's going to be traded back into Volkswagen. And I'm going to go by hand to bust all the fasteners off first and then use the gun. I almost forgot to mention, if you don't have the means on the Jetta TDi to prime the fuel pump, do not attempt to change the fuel filter, because The fuel pump, high pressure fuel pump, uses the fuel as lube. If you starve it for fuel, it's gonna be metal on metal, and then your whole fuel system's gonna be wrecked. And I've heard it's up to 10 grand to fix it. So I'm gonna use a snap-on scanner afterwards. So if you do not have the means to prime the fuel pump, do not attempt to do this job. Well, we got the fuel filter out and everything looks good. No metal filings, which is a good sign, because you always got to watch out for that, because that's a sign of trouble. Filter looks relatively not too bad. We got the new one, genuine Volkswagen in the box. We're gonna pull that O-ring off and change it and put the new filter in. Probably not going to be able to see much because of the glare. Got this plugged in. Ignition is on. Do not start it until you prime the system. I think I want to go into engine management. Just want to make sure there's no fuel system. Okay, let's go to engine management. S44 keys installed. Let's go to functional tests. I think it was under special functions. Yeah, vent prime fuel circuit function. This procedure will allow user to activate the electronic lift fuel pump for a maximum of 30 seconds. It is used for priming the fuel line, e.g. filling the fuel filter after replacement. Yes. I hear it. I hear it prime. Just want to do a quick check for leaks, because you just never know. Fuel system's primed. Turn it off. Turn it on. I kind of like this snap-on scanner. It's easier to use than VAGCOM for most things, but if you need to do some programming, then obviously you have to use VAGCOM. But for priming the fuel system, is perfect. It works good on my Ford. For some reason, it just doesn't work on my Jeep. It won't communicate with my Jeep at all. It's so bizarre. Gonna do the cabin air filter. Now, if you guys remember where I installed the P3 gauge, I lost a little corner piece. So I wonder if it's down in there. Well, that tab wasn't in there. I was kind of hoping it would be. I'm quite surprised. I changed this like just over a year ago. Thing's pretty filthy. Just finished armor-alling the car. Did some leather conditioning on the seats. We're good for a while. Alright, it's motherfucking beer time. It's Hat Trick Hop IPA by Tamarack Brewing Company. Alright, motherfucking beer time. Let's try this Hat Trick Hop IPA. Oh, this is good. This is really good. I haven't had a bad beer in a while. So, on the Jetta TDi, if you have one, if you've been thinking about getting one, remember what I said. If you're going to do the maintenance yourself, you need specialized tools, either VAGCOM or a high-end pro scanner to do a lot of things. So if you guys remembered when I installed the rear backup camera, I had to code that into the stereo in order for it to work. You have to prime the fuel system, otherwise you'll wreck the high pressure fuel pump, and that's very costly and expensive. and it's basically probably in most cases cheaper just to scrap the car. And one thing with German vehicles that I know that are experienced with the BMW and the Volkswagen is always use OEM or OEM quality parts. Don't go to the parts store. Don't order off eBay these cheap no-name parts, because German cars are very sensitive to cheap parts and you're gonna pay for it in the long run. So I'm gonna end the video here. It's motherfucking beer time. Hat Trick Hop IPA. We got a lot of stuff to get done here, and I gotta quit fucking around. So gonna finish the gold sluice behind me. I'm gonna bust out the spool gun and piss around. So I'll talk to you guys later.